Because I got
The
the
answer is
weight to give mine.
absolutely
Can
no.
you do that for me, Max?
The answer is no. Of course they don't have a shot. They shouldn't. I mean, this would be a monumental upset and a terrible stain for Tom Brady and the Bucs. The Bucs have been playing their best football as the season wound down. They were ramping up. Does that have a lot to do with Tom Brady's leadership and experience? Absolutely. I believe it does. My hat's off to him. He had a remarkable season. And they are peaking at just the right time. It's an 11-win team. They stomped the Packers early in this season. They beat the brakes off the Lions. I mean, like when you put a good team in front of them, they could win. When you put a bad team in front of them, they could stomp them out. Meantime, they're playing a Washington team that is sub 500. Guys, the only reason they have 7 wins instead of 6 wins is because Peterson didn't kick a field goal and then took Jalen Hurts out of the game. Otherwise, they'd probably be playing the Giants right now. The Washington football team is lucky to have 7 wins. Now, Alex Smith has been a great story. I guess it'll be a big story if he plays. This is a team without a true quarterback who you'd want leading a team on a Super Bowl run. No offense to Alex Smith, who's had a remarkable comeback. But come on, guys. Given age, injury, the whole thing. And it's not like Alex Smith was ever Tom Brady. And you don't have your young quarterback who you drafted to be your franchise guy because you got rid of him. This is a team that sure, they can play some defense. And yes, they laughably get a home game. But this is a season where home field doesn't mean much for the most part. No, the Bucs are big favorites here. And they absolutely will win. And if they don't win, that is a monumental upset.
Well, listen, when we talk about whether or not they have a chance to answer that question directly, I'm going to say yes, for one reason and one reason only. That front four and their ability to get to the quarterback. Tom Brady has been sacked 21 times this season in 16 games. The Washington football team has 47 sacks on this season. Chase Young, your captain on the defensive side of the ball, even as a rookie, he's got 7.5 sacks. Montez Sweat, he's got about 9 sacks. Kerrigan's got about 5.5 sacks. We know that this team can get to the quarterback. What is the Achilles heel? Molly and Max, you should know this better than anybody because the only reason y'all were able to beat Tom Brady in the 2 Super Bowls you faced them when you had Tom Coughlin as your coach was because you had a front four that got to Tom Brady. That's the only reason. And so what we've recognized throughout the years watching Tom Brady, regardless of his greatness, his 6 Super Bowl rings, his 9 trips to the Super Bowl, et cetera, the one thing that has him tap dancing in the pocket, like the late, great Gregory Hines, God rest his soul, is the fact that you've got a front four that can get to him. It's the only thing that seems to really neutralize and negate him. You can have an elite secondary. You can have a big-time offense. You can have linebackers that can drop back into the secondary or could even get to the quarterback or whatever. But when you have a front four that doesn't necessarily need to blitz in order to make you considerably nervous, that has been a problem and an Achilles heel for Tom Brady, and we've witnessed it because we saw him lose 2 Super Bowls because of it. That's the only chance the Washington football team is going to have. Do I think it's going to be good enough? No, I wouldn't bet my money on it. But to answer a question as to whether or not they have a chance, considering their strength, is their ability to get to the quarterback, to make him tap dance, to make him nervous, to put his behind on the ground, to put a hat on him. This is what they do. That's the Achilles heel for Tom Brady. I believe, based on that reality, you can't definitively sit up there and say the Washington football team doesn't have a chance when they've got a front four like they have.
Yeah, you heard Bruce Arians say. Bruce Arians says it's championship or bust. If we don't get the ring, you bring Tom Brady to Tampa Bay to get the ring. This is not a let's build for the future of Tom Brady. What, are you trying to win it when he's 50? No, they're trying to get it right now. And when you ask, okay, does the Washington football team have an opportunity to win this game? Yes, they do. But that's just a puncher's chance. And Max knows when you have a puncher's chance, sometimes you got to put yourself in harm's way. They're going to have to bring pressure. They're going to have to show physicality. They're going to have to be all out and heading and going to get Tom Brady. But that's it, right? It's going to take about, you think, 27 points normally to beat Tom Brady in a playoff game or to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this playoff game. If it gets to that, If that's what it takes from the Washington football team, they can't compete in that arena. They can't go win a shootout against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's going to take Payne. It's going to take Sweat. It's going to take Young. It's going to take Kerrigan. All of these people are going to have to be in Tom Brady's face. But most importantly, Allen and Payne have to rush up the middle. What is Tom Brady? Tom Brady is a guy that likes to step up into pocket, move sideways, create lanes to throw, and push the ball down the field to these wide receivers, whether it's Godwin, Gronk, Antonio Brown. They can't allow that. They have to get the ball out of his hand quickly, and they have to hit Tom Brady every single opportunity that they have. That's the only chance that this team has to win. They have to turn the ball over, maybe score themselves, and more than anything, not give up big plays. That's how you let Alex Smith get an opportunity to score enough points to win this game.
Every football team has a strength, and the football team, the Washington football team has guys up front, especially Chase Young, who can get after the quarterback. Well, of course, you can't win even 7 games if you don't have any strengths. By the way, what is that strength playing into? Is the O-line a weakness for the Bucs? No, the O-line is one of the Bucs' many strengths. They do a very good job protecting Tom Brady. Does Tom Brady get rid of the ball fast? Yes, he does. Has Tom Brady been much more accurate this year than he was last year? Yes, he has been. Does Tom Brady have weapons? Only everywhere you look, it's an embarrassment of riches on offense. You also have a head coach in Bruce Arians, who seems to push all the right buttons with Brady and this team throughout the year. Every time the media played it up into a controversy, in fact, if you looked closely, Arians knew when to push Tom Brady's buttons and get the team motivated, and Brady motivated with public criticism. He knew when to back him up. He knew when to kind of make the offense more what Tom Brady wanted. This team is, in addition to protecting the quarterback and doing all the things I just said, peaking right now against the Washington football team that, as I said, was lucky to beat the Eagles, who weren't even trying to win on the last game of the season.
Was it Brady who cost the Bucs a win?
No, it was not. And by the way, as an aside, Molly, before we get the show started, I told you last week about the yellow. It's slamming. Way to go. Now, let me get to this football
you, Stephen
game
A.
yesterday.
Thanks.
Okay. I appreciate it, but here's the deal, okay? When we look at yesterday, we can sit up there and we can point the finger at Tom Brady all we want to. I would say to you the name Carlton Davis. You ever heard of that name, Max Kellerman? Ever heard of that name? He would happen to be the cornerback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that was lined up opposite Tyreek Hill. Okay, Tyreek Hill, a 75-yard bomb. Tyreek Hill, another touchdown where he backflips into the end zone, showing nothing but utter disrespect for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tyreek Hill, who had 203 receiving yards in the first quarter. And oh, by the way, not only was that a problem, you sort of felt so sorry for Carlton Davis. Why? Because Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles never decided to double up on Tyreek Hill, never decided to make sure you had help on the safety over the top. You put this brother in single coverage. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, and anybody else you want to mention, they studs, Michael Thomas, all big-time studs. Tyreek Hill's the best wide receiver in football. In case somebody missed it. He's the best wide receiver in football. He's the fastest. He's got great hands. He's strong as a bull. And let me tell you something right now. He's leading everybody in yards. Put on an absolute clinic. Todd Bowles, I don't know what the hell they were thinking about not doubling up, not having help from the safety over the top, doing something, playing a zone defense on other occasions against these brothers. Makes no sense whatsoever. But that is what happened, and that is why this is not on Tom Brady. Certainly he got outplayed because Patrick Mahomes had 359 yards passing in the first half, okay? But the bottom line is you look at it, and it was that defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that did not show up. I don't know what Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles were thinking.
Oh, my God. Here come the excuses. This is ridiculous. Let me tell you whose fault it was. It was Patrick Mahomes' fault that the Bucs lost. Patrick Mahomes, who basically ended the game in the first quarter. No, Brady couldn't make that up late. It was too much. The first quarter, he and Tyreek Hill, yes, they put on a show. I guess if it's not Patrick Mahomes' fault, I guess it's Bruce Arians' fault, right? Like, that's the reason they lost. So since they only have one loss, and Mahomes does this to the whole league and avenge the team that beat them, right? I guess it's all the coaches' faults. Every time Mahomes and the Chiefs play someone, it's the other coach's fault. If only they would have done X, Y, or Z, they could have stopped Mahomes. Really? You want to go there? Let me explain something to you. Right now, I've been straight up the whole time. This season was about, was it more Brady or Belichick? It's one of the great sports debates in the history of American sports. More Brady or Belichick? Oh, we're about to find out. And what I say early on, I said I have to admit it. Brady's got weapons, but he knows what to do with them. He looks good using them. He has not fallen off the cliff. And I questioned, is this the first time in 20 years we can ask, is Belichick actually still the best coach in the NFL? Remember, I asked that out loud. I didn't say no, he's not. I said we can actually start asking that question. Right now, Brady looks better than Belichick. He set it up to look better than Belichick. He left Belichick without a quarterback, right? Belichick wanted to go to Garoppolo. Brady went to Kraft, had Garoppolo shipped out of town. So he set it up for himself. Brady's going to look better. But nevertheless, I was just straight up and down. Yup, Brady looks better. Who looks better right now? Who is it? What's going on right now? Belichick is now a single game under 500, 3 quality wins on the season against really good teams, 2 plays away from being a couple games over 500 with nothing. No defense, no offense, nothing. Fewer weapons than Brady had last year. An injury recovering, comebacking quarterback in a new system. 1 game under 500. Brady's got an embarrassment of riches. Stephen A., you're talking about because Bruce Arians isn't perfect? No one's perfect. You know who Belichick is? He's Floyd Mayweather. Floyd used to say, don't make no mistakes, because Floyd would make fewer mistakes than the other guy. That's Belichick. Brady doesn't have that anymore. Now he has a regular coach. Bruce Arians is good, but he's a regular coach. And you want to blame yesterday on Bruce Arians? No. No, the difference in the game was Mahomes, and if you switched quarterbacks, obviously the Bucs would have won.
Well, first of all, this isn't a history class or from Columbia. Damn sure ain't a sports history class. The question was, did Tom Brady cost the Buccaneers a win yesterday? And we're talking about yesterday. And yesterday, what did we witness? When Tyreek Hill caught a 75-yard touchdown pass, Max Kellerman, he waited, turned